Yo ho, let's play some Battlegrounds. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope this video finds you well. I'm gonna play around to Hearthstone for you guys and get back to laundry, but I haven't done one of these videos in a little bit. I thought it'd be fun to record and kind of see how trinkets has affected the coveted Battlegrounds. Now, I'm pretty deep into the Battle Pass. I want to say like I'm level 15 or 16. I've put in quite a few games. Buddies are thankfully long gone. Trinkets have taken over, and I have mixed feelings on them. Very similar to what we saw with, I guess Reno, right? Kind of what we saw with Buddies. Trinkets kind of make or break the game. There's been some theory crafting on how to force certain trinkets into your hand as opposed to some of the other trinkets. So we're going to see if we can get lucky and get ourselves a sweet trinket set and get rolling. We are not going to be playing with beasts, demons, dragons, mechs, or undead, which is sad because I really like demons a lot. But we are going to be playing with elementals, murlocs, nagas, pirates, and quillboars. Quillboar seems to be the natural choice, honestly, going into this because quillboar scaling is like ridiculously powerful. I've come to the conclusion that Naga is not great for scaling unless you're doing a massive APM build, and even then I feel like you're having a hard time keeping up. If you've played a lot of Blizzard games, then you'll get the same feeling I got playing Probius, if you're familiar with Heroes of the Storm. You're clicking around like a madman, you're trying to do tons and tons of stuff, and you're really just trying to make the best you can with what you have. I feel like that's Nagas, just clicking around like wild, trying so hard to make something happen, and it just never seems to come together. So that is why I don't think I'll be playing Nagas. Murlocs are fun, I think, in the current meta. I think there is some really good value with some late game Murlocs, but I feel like most Murlocs do ultimately kind of fall back into that base skill Bream counter, where you're basically building up a minion via this mass APM build again to get a very high card in your hand that is exposed upon the death of base skill. And I think like a double Bream into base, gold base is awesome. But again, that seems kind of like situational. So, and then of course you got pirates, which I adore. Putting every single point you have into blade collectors, making them just the most insane warlike machines in the planet. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll end up going down that road. We'll kind of see where this game takes us. But that's not going to be really discovered until kind of turn 3 in terms of what I'm actually going to go. I still do maintain that this game really doesn't take shape until like upgrade 3 or 4. Because that's when you're going to start finding cards that really change your build. Like, for example, if I got a deep blue crooner on turn 3, despite everything I said about Nagas, I would absolutely invest in a deep blue crooner, and then I would probably start pivoting over hard into some other cards from the Naga collection, like Lava Lurkers or even the Zesties, because then at least that way I would have a lot of value with the deep blue crooner. But it's hard to say early on. Anyways, enough about that. So I've been working a lot with doing ancillary videos on my channel, trying to have some fun with some cool content that I don't typically do. And I've gotten into doing a lot of stuff with my external microphones, which is a ton of fun because you feel just awesome like a rock star when you're walking around talking like this and you're like choking up on the microphone, you know, and I'm like, hey, what's up, YouTube? No, not that bad. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. And unfortunately, because my web camera isn't that great at distance, I've been using my cell phone to record video in combination with my microphone. So I'm pacing around in the back, talking, and I got to splice everything together, which, again, not a hard thing to do at all. However, what has been a little frustrating to me is just how bad Microsoft OneDrive is in uploading files from my phone to my computer. And it drives me nuts. Like, honestly drives me nuts. To the part that, like, I am beyond frustrated with trying to record stuff on my phone, and I really love an XLR camera. I just have a hard time swinging that for the amount of views I get on my channel. But oh my God, I would lose my mind over an XLR camera. Like a nice heavy duty one where I could record everything and, you know, get some really good value on that. That would be so awesome. But it's expensive. So we're relying on the tried and true iPhone camera, taking videos, uploading them to OneDrive, and then pulling them down on my computer. And it is beyond frustrating how unreliable OneDrive is being right now. It's been uploading a single video now for about 35 minutes on a fiber connection. Go figure. All right. So I'm looking down at my phone every so often to see that it is not updating very quickly, which is sad. So I could power level if I want and go right to 7. That would put me in tier 4, which would be good. We are going to get a trinket next turn. Seeing as I have 3 elementals, most likely my trinket would be a guaranteed elemental trinket. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably going to take another L this round, which is fine. But getting an elemental trinket is probably not a bad thing. And I'll probably even freeze on Chef's Choice just to get that guaranteed 4th elemental going into the next turn. But seems to me the meta is watching a lot of dog videos via one of my true loves, Kevin Green, who's like the Hearthstone master. You know, it seems that the way that this system works, you want to be on 3 minions going into turn 5, or into turn 6, I should say. Because I can't tell you how many games in this new meta of Trinket Land that I've lost because I didn't have a trinket that was applicable to my build. And I know it's a lesser trinket, and then you get the greater trinket later on, which radically changes the game. But in the games that I have won, those two have been in phenomenal synergy with one another. So we're going to kind of force that, and then we're going to play some serious catch-up because we're doing a lot of upgrades. So we're going to see if this strategy actually works out. And we're going to go ahead and get Pop the Trinket. Whenever a friendly minion attacks, give it 4. Whenever you buy a trader trinket, this copies into it, or, which is odd, in 2 turns, choose a greater trinket to replace this, or a goblin wheel. So not really a guaranteed trinket here for Nagas, which I'm a little surprised about. Souvenir stand and trip vouchers are pretty awesome. I'm going to pick one of those two. I'm just debating here. Do I want to go all in on like an insane trip voucher trinket, or do I want to do a souvenir stand that gives me a 2? You know, I'm going to do souvenir. I'm doing it. I'm going to get a double greater trinket. Hopefully it's awesome. And we're going to go back to leveling elementals at this point, because that's kind of where I've landed, at least for now. And of course, now that I've decided I'm going elementals, there are no elementals to choose from. So we're going to do Chef's Choice on this guy and get ourselves a Slimy Fellblood, which is an interesting elemental demon. There are no demons on the board. So the fact that I got a card that buffs the board is kind of comical to me. I could either go for this upgrade, which will give all my cards a +2/1, or I can give one card an 8/8. Since there's 4 of these, that's or 8/8, that's a 4/4 versus 1 8/8. I'll go ahead and go with this dude here and instantly be ready to sell it. And we'll see what we get going into the next turn. If we're going to commit to elemental, or we're going to continue to pivot into something. I'm definitely not basing my entire game on a level 1 refreshing anomaly, for what it's worth. That will not be happening. I don't see that in my near future. This guy crushed me. He's got some good synergies going with Cool Boar. Cool Boar still, I think, remain kind of the cards, honestly. But looking for one of those upgrade 4s that radically changes how I play. Deep Blue Crooner is nice, but I feel like it's a little late in this game. A little Rag is good if I continue to commit to elementals. After you play an elemental, give a friendly elemental stats equal to the elemental's tier. That's kind of nice. No other elementals here. I'm going to go ahead and sell this, which will give me an upgrade and potentially 2. God, another Fellblood. This is so odd. I don't really want to commit to board buffing this early in the game. Weird. Weird how that worked out. Fearless Foodie. Yeah, this is a lot of like really good Quillbore cards. I just don't have the gold to pivot that hard. I guess I'll go ahead and go with the anomaly. And I'm going to dump. Who am I going to dump to get the anomaly? Anomaly for an anomaly? First, like, stat sticks are concerned, Fellblood's better. I don't really care to buff the board, though. This is, like, a scam I don't want to get into. So go ahead and do that. That'll give us a little bit of synergy on a couple cards here. Rag's going to carry over. Molten Rock's going to carry over. Okay. We got a free upgrade if we need it. All right. We'll stick with this. I think we're going to stick with elementals. Fearless Foodie is nice. Starling Conductor early on would be good. I just don't have the gold. I've invested, like, kind of a lot in my board at this point to start pivoting hard. So I think we're gonna commit to elemental, and we're gonna hope that at in 2 turns I get some phenomenal trinket that like does something amazing for elemental, and we start to turn this around. Because I feel like these next 2 or 3 rounds are gonna be a little rough because I don't really have a lot of stats right now. Take some pretty decent damage here. We're gonna have to turn this around pretty quick. I got 2 more rounds of that and I am GG's, man. So let's see what we got. Upgraded hard to 4, and am I gonna be rewarded for it? The answer is probably not.
It's good to get some minions in play.
There we go. Wildfire Elemental is a good card to have, and definitely the Party Elemental is a good card to have. So we want to go and play the Party Elemental first. We're going to make a little bit of room, so we're going to say goodbye to one of these. Well, we'll go and say goodbye to the Fellblood. Go and play this Wildfire Elemental. So we'll see some nice value there. We're going to Chef's Choice into this. And man, more board buffing. This is so crazy. A Living Azurite. That is so wild to see that. We'll go ahead and flip. There we go. There's our gold. Gold would be nice. I think we're going to go ahead and dump the Party Elemental for the gold guy here. And we're going to go ahead and dump him on the board and see what we get. I'm not really doing it so much for him. I'm doing it more for the gold. We got the only elemental that really helped me, the Flourishing Frostling. Has a 2/1 for each elemental. Play this game wherever it is. Okay, so decent stat card. Nothing like wild.
No one disturbs my home.
Okay. I feel like that's a scam freezing for another Molten Rock. Okay. Still not really feeling anything that's gold worthy yet. Little Rag might be. Honestly, Little Rag's probably my best. If I lose this round, it'll have to be gold Little Rag. If I waited for 5, what would be a good gold there?
Have a good battle.
Yeah, because a Little Rag, gold. If you play an elemental, give a friendly elemental. Yeah, see, that's kind of an APM build with Little Rag there. I don't want to get into the habit of cycling cards out too much right now, honestly. Honestly, realistically, Wildfire would be good because that's going to give me some swipe damage. If I could buff up that Wildfire Elemental a little bit more and give him some like the low tier 1 cards like the Pointy Arrow or something, or some bananas, that would be pretty cool actually. All right, here we go. Whatever I buy, I'm getting twice. Give 2 friendly elementals Death Rattle. Get a Devourer. Summon a copy of your leftmost minion, or giving Living Azurite. Your Living Azurite also gives stats to friendly elementals. That would be a Tavern spell build. That seems kind of lame. Summon I think we're gonna go ahead and go with that. We're gonna have a ton of oh my god, we're gonna have so many of these things. I don't know how this stacks. Does this do any value for me? Do I give 2? Did I get screwed on this combo? Is this actually gonna do anything for me? Am I getting like I'm gonna give 4 friendly elementals death rattle, I guess. Is that what we're doing here? That's of each T set, of each type. I don't want that. Okay. Got a lot of free refreshes with the my little boy there. Still some decent value in that right now. A lot of tier 3s on the board. That's the only card that's really... The Party Elemental is the only card that's really going to buff my board, though. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that's wowing me. I think I'm going to just go ahead and upgrade. And I'm just going to go ahead and I think I'm going to make this guy gold. I'm just doing it. There you go. Now we got a gold. Set access. So I got 19 with a potential carryover on 2 minions. We'll see if we can get anything done with this. Get a little bit of like elemental swipe going maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I have enough leg to kill multiple minions. Of course it's a bad hit because that's my luck. Don't hit the minion in the middle. Hit the one way off on the side, of course. So it looks like I kind of got screwed with this. This Jarred Frostling says it gives 2 friendly elementals death rattle. And this says it gives 2 elemental friendlies death rattle. I only saw 2 death rattles. So I feel like I kind of got boned on that one. Potentially. We're just going to look for collecting potential golds. That kind of stinks, honestly. The refreshing anomaly is one card that could honestly go and I wouldn't be sad. There we go. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to go ahead and get a gold. Whenever we cast a elemental spell, elementals in the tavern get 2/2. Now I'm kind of regretting my choice, honestly, with that other upgrade. Let's see if we can get some decent elemental here. After you play an elemental, give your minions 2 attack. There you go. Rock's not horrible. And we want him to hit the hardest, so we're going to give him 8, which gives us a chance. Buffs the board, which I don't care about. And now we wait for the next turn. Yeah, I don't know why. Man, I guess I really screwed up thinking about that. Let's keep an eye out and see. Give 2 friendly elementals, summon death rattles. So I have no death rattles on my board, right? There's nothing going on here. I don't have any other death rattles. Those flourishing frostlings, right? Which are over here. It's actually a really nice buffed card because every time you play an elemental, it gets stronger. So in theory, every time you're dying, you're getting more stats and more stats and more stats, and you're really starting to build up stats. By the way, my video just finished uploading. Thank you, Microsoft OneDrive, for doing your job way too late. Who knew sending a 2 GB video file would take like an hour and a half, but here we are. Yeah, so the flourishing frostlings are nice because you start to get a lot of value in them. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm looking for death rattles. I got 3 death rattles that time. So is there a chance that one of the friendly elementals is pegged twice? Is that possible? Did I see that right? Weird. I thought these should be... Oh no, it's for every elemental played. I guess they don't buff themselves, so maybe I was wrong. I thought the second one would hit harder than the first. This would be a nasty thing to have with that card, by the way, because of the amount of elementals. I like that. I like that idea. I should have bought that. It's fine. Okay. Looking for elementals. This card is not going to level much. So we're going to dump this guy. We're going to go and play this. Everybody gets a little bit of a buff, which is pretty sweet. We're going to... It's like a pseudo APM build, honestly. If you kind of look at it that way. And we could go for the Titus scam, which will give everybody just a stupid amount of death rattles, which I think is probably where I need to be at this point. And we'll go for a second Titus. Okay. So if that was true, the way that this worked, and I was actually getting multiple death rattles, where the flourishing frostling had a 2/1 for each elemental you played, and you played a frostling, right? Which would then make the next frostling stronger, and in turn make it stronger and stronger. With a Titus, you're leveling up those cards very rapidly on death, which is cool. The problem is, for whatever reason, it seems like the give 2 friendly elementals, they could potentially be the same too. So the first time I had a death rattle of only 2 minions, then the next time I had a death rattle of 3 minions. So I'm thinking there's a chance they overlap on top of each other, which is really, really stupid. Let's see here. I want to watch this again. So I only got 6 elementals to observe to see who gets death rattles. Let's see how many pop on the board. 3 of them. So back to kind of what I said. There is a very odd kind of mechanic here. Interestingly enough, on the death rattle, it didn't trigger. Okay, it did trigger twice, but they're the same health pool. So they're not necessarily buffing themselves. The cards that are played are not buffing themselves. This isn't like the automaton card that gets stronger for each turn. So that's kind of a disappointment. It's a kind of a cool strategy if you think about it, but in reality, I'm not getting the maximum amount of value I probably should be getting out of this, which kind of stinks for my game because I've committed very hard into this now, right? And yeah, that's not cool, yo. Here's a tavern spell, which are going to make the minions in the tavern even stronger, which is hysterical. Irrelevant. Again, great for a board eating build. Maybe another wildfire might not be horrible. Party elemental, would it be a good substitute for... Give your minions +2 attack. Rock's actually a really good buff card. Little Rag's a good buff card. Party elemental. Leveling, yeah. I think I'm just going to hold this other party elemental. Debating if I want to freeze for a potential another gold wildfire. That's not a ton of damage. There's just really no future buffing. I feel like party elemental has to be designed to like be part of this build, because ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to get into a situation where your party elemental is, if it's gone, you're not really getting value out of anything except for a little rag bonus, which isn't like phenomenal because you're only talking about like a 4/4 stat boost, which actually makes me think maybe a little rag, maybe we replace him for the party elemental, just how fast I'm cycling cards out. I think I'm going to do that because that's just equal to its tier. Could be a 6/6 if I'm getting nice juicy cards. So that would be a 4/4 as opposed to a 2/1. Yeah. I think I'll let this go. I'm going to let that buff. I don't really care about freezing for a Fellblade. Boy, demons would have been great in this game, wouldn't they? That's a lot of poison scam cards here. This is going to really hurt. Well, there goes my double death rattle. Yeah, I'm not seeing the value in a Titus with these elementals. I'm stuck at 32-16 or whatever they are until I play more cards, which really is kind of frustrating, honestly.
That one might make all the difference.
Do I have any battle cards on the board? I don't even think I did, do I? Nope.
That's what I would have picked. hiring that minion will get you a triple.
Ooh. I am locked. I guess I can go ahead and cast this. Do I have any spells to cast? I do. I'm going to go ahead and cast this. We're going to dump this guy. Oh, do I want to dump Little Rag? I could dump Little Rag. Sell him. That's 1, 2. And then the Little Rag will give me a gold. Yeah, I think I need to do that. There's 1. There's 2. We're going to double his health. Sell him. Play Little Rag. Sell him. Buy Party Elemental. Get the gold Party Elemental. Play the gold Party Elemental. Get a tier 6 minion, which is a summon a 7/7 golem for each type of minion that died in this combat. These are all so bad. These do not help my hand at all, which is frustrating. I guess I could play the all. I'll get a little bit of value out of the buff cards there. And we'll hope that we get lucky with RNGesus on the Jared Frostling. This is honestly a good experiment because I had always speculated with the Flourishling Frostling that it would actually stack over time, and it doesn't. And then I also thought it would be good to speculate how that would work with a Titus, which I was like, oh, that's actually a really interesting strategy. That would give you some insane power leveling, but not the case here. Oof. Hard hit. Knowing my luck, I'm going to lose the AFK guy. Yeah, see, now I'm stuck at 40-20 because they're not played to themselves. But when they die, you get a lot of them. Assuming Titus stays around, you actually get some really fun value with that. There are actually some decent cards, but to really build up this hand, Titus has to stay alive. And you also have to be able to have the room. So, and you got to get lucky that these death rattles are actually like hitting targets that matter. I think. I kind of feel that's where it's at. So, any elementals? There we go. This will give us some good value on elementals. I think I'm going to dump this atrocity for sure. Yeah, it's funny because I was saying at the beginning of this video how I'm not really thrilled about playing. I'm not really thrilled about the Nagas because it's like a heavy APM build that doesn't really get you a lot of value, and I feel like that's where I'm at now with this. I feel like I got stuck in like this odd APM build that like I didn't really want to be in. Is that an all? No, I thought that was an all. And of course, we're going to have a whole board of pirates. Like, look at this. Jeez. Why you do this to me, Blizzard? If only we had some damn... This is going to be so stupid. If only we had some really good value on our... that'll hopefully buy him one more turn. Even though I want him to do the double attack. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's strong enough. Hopefully those Tituses don't get sniped early on. And we can get ourselves some really goofy Frostling action. We'll find out. Here we go. What are we going to do? Got a lot of bubbles and a lot of damage to go through. Of course the Tituses get sniped. Why wouldn't they? Man, how cool would that have been if like 4 of those dudes popped out instead of just 1? Good lesson learned. I think I'm going to entitle this the education of... What would I call this? The education of elemental trinkets. That's, I think, what I'm going to call that. And if you made it all the way to the end, I thank you for that. That was a fun one, despite not working out the way it should have. I think that build would have been really, really cool if those minions stacked, but for some reason they don't. And if that was made apparent to everyone in the universe but me, well, that's why I am trash, because I don't know these things. I'm just trying to learn like everyone else. But if it was truly something that nobody knew, then I'm a pioneer, right? That means I'm like going out to the forefront of Blizzard nonsense, so you don't have to. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.